I'm Devan Rue, and you are watching the 411 with Crew 412.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mont Jones with another exciting episode of the 411 with Crew 412. It's Black History Month, and I'm keeping it all the way black. I got a black shirt, I got a black hat, rims that's black, tires that's black. I got a cousin named Ray who's black. We got a president that's black. I'm keeping it all the way black, and you should do the same by educating yourself this month on Black History Month. The 411 is all about highlighting Pittsburgh artists. On this episode, we have Damon Young, Devan Rue, and James Johnson III. Now, I had a chance to sit down and talk to James, man. Real cool brother. Just picking his brain a little bit to see what's going on in the drum area and the music area and what projects he has going on for himself. And you should do the same. So check out the interview with James Johnson III.
I've been involved in music as long as I can remember. I would probably say somewhere in the single digits, 6, 7 years old. My parents are musicians, and I guess they tell me that I don't really recall this, but I used to pull out pots and pans and things like that and bang on stuff. So that was the first sign of interest in music. So I would say, literally all my life, basically. With music, I would have to blame that on my parents, my mom and dad, just being young and just constantly being around music all the time, and with my father and mom having choir rehearsal at the house, or going around with my father when I was younger to performances. As far as drums, I would have to say, as some folks know, Greg Humphreys was a drummer who was like the guy who really, when I watched him play, that's when I knew that's what I wanted to do, and I just wanted to be like Greg. that was like my hero back in the day, still is. The styles of music that I play, I have played jazz, gospel. I played in rock situations, Latin, pop. Played in some cover bands. My favorite style, that's a hard one. I would have to say jazz would be my favorite because there's a lot of freedom involved in that. But I like all kinds of music. So yeah, I would say jazz, is my favorite. I grew up playing jazz first, and for that reason, for a lot of musicians will tell you, it seems to be a lot easier to play different styles. Being that I grew up playing jazz, it makes everything else a little easier to approach. What inspires me as an artist, I would say other artists. I'm 38, and there's another generation below me, and things are always evolving and changing. And I guess going out to hear musicians, listening to different artists, something that's new and fresh, I would say that would be something that inspires me as a musician to keep going, keep writing. As growing up, we always have like this one person we kind of idolize a little bit, So for me, when I was younger, it was I listened to tons of music, but I got kind of stuck on this group, the Yellow Jackets. Growing up, I just love their writing and their compositions. They just really moved me, and I kind of stayed there for a while. And within that group, the drummer William Kennedy was a guy that I would say inspired me heavily, growing up. And now to this day, we're really good friends. comes to Pittsburgh, and he does clinics here at AMI for us. And you know, the relationship is comfortable. I can say, hey man, I ain't got no hotel money, but you want to stay at my crib? You know, and I kick my son out of his room like, hey son, you got to go. Will's. So, you know, that's the kind of relationship that I have with him, which is great. There is a list of people that I have been blessed to work with. Most notable, I would say, of course, would be Ahmad Jamal. That was the highlight of my career, playing with him and touring with him. My first gig with Ahmad, I was kind of fresh out of high school. Ahmad came to Pittsburgh, thanks to Nelson Harrison. He came to Pittsburgh and we talked. There was a talk about me going on the road with him, and you know, it was the best experience ever. I mean, as a kid, I remember one of my first gigs was probably in Boston or Atlanta. Being I'm fresh out of high school, I remember getting to the airport and you know, and coming down the escalator towards baggage, and I saw a sign with my name on it, with limo driver, and I did a double take, like, you know, I was like, oh, you know, it's like that, you know, I'd never been on the road before until I went with Ahmad, so that and just you know, of course, you know, at high school, man, those little things, like, you know, that's like, wow, exciting. AAMI is a blessing to Pittsburgh. It's a music school that's in the Homewood community. That's been here for over 30 years now. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And we're a music school located in Homewood on Hamilton Avenue. And it's a hub, it's a place where musicians and artists gather, and we teach, we play, we jam. We teach all styles of music: piano, drums, bass, sax, theory, vocals. I'm probably missing something, but yeah. And it's a very unique place. Hope to see you here. Sign your kids up and yourself. As far as projects, old projects, still trying to push old projects, you know. I have my old project, which is an album called Between, which you can get on CD, iTunes, CD Baby, iTunes, and things like that. I love being in the studio. I love writing music, so I'm working on another project right now that I don't really have a timeline, but I probably should. But maybe late summer, I'm thinking. For aspiring musicians, I would say do it all. I mean, there's so many different avenues in the music industry, which you have being a musician, recording artist, a writer. I would say, you know, just be wide open, continue to study, don't be complacent. Prepare for some rough roads, because those are the risks we take as being artists, you know. But when you love something, those are the risks you're willing to take. So I would say, you know, prepare for that. You know, that's just part of the bag that goes with being an artist, a musician. You know, you'll have some ups, you'll have some downs, but the ups weigh, you know, way out more than the downs. So I would just say, you know, be wide open and explore different, you know, areas of music. Not just playing, but, you know, get into some producing and you know, different things like that.
For more info on James Johnson III, check out our website at www.crew412.com. Next up, we have vocalist Devan Rue. I had a chance to sit down with this young lady and have a conversation with her. She's smart, she's beautiful, and she can sing. Miss Devan Rue.
Hey y'all, I'm Devan Rue and I am an artist. I am a singer, songwriter, and I'm a hairstylist / makeup artist, and this is my spotlight. I've been singing from the age of 4. I would say that I knew that I had a gift, if you will, when I was in preschool. There was an opportunity to sing a little solo at the end of our graduation. The song was, I Believe the Children of our Future. And I was at home practicing and I was like, yeah, I got that. My music kind of varies. I have inspirational lyrics, but it's in a compilation of jazz, neo soul, a little hip hop, and what I would consider to be 90s R&B. Now my parents, they listen to a lot of different music, from like West Coast gangster rap to your Shaka Khans and Luther Vandross, but I was raised in church, and so I also have gospel inspirations. But if I had to pick an artist that inspired me, I would have to say Yolanda Adams. Reason being, she just had like this really powerful voice that she didn't necessarily do anything fancy, but she sang with conviction. If I could perform with anyone, wow, that's a good question. Brandy. I don't know of any other artist that inspires me, from, you know, not only her vocal ability, but just even her overall as a performer. Toni Braxton, I would love to do something with. Music Soul Child, even Erykah Badu. My other talent would be my day job, which is a hairstylist / makeup artist. Just like singing, I've been doing that since I was a young girl. I could miss out on a complete sermon in church, staring at people's hair, trying to figure out, you know, either how to achieve it or what I could do to fix it. And I also had like a clientele since I was probably about 12 years old. I grew up dreaming about being on like a huge stage with like a beautiful dress on. Like, I've had dreams about it, and so not being from here, I had to do some time and, you know, putting myself out there and paying my dues, as they say. But I never wanted to be in the background, so it just took some time to find myself, find my niche, find my voice, and just network with some people that were willing to you know, vibe with me and believe enough in my vision to help me bring it to fruition. My opinion of the art scene in Pittsburgh is it's growing. There are a lot of talented people in Pittsburgh, but I feel like not enough of us know each other. Not enough of us get time to shine. I feel like it's time for like a movement for us to come together and put Pittsburgh on the map for more than just movies, more than the Steelers. There are a lot of great artists who do support one another, but you just kind of have to have your ear to the ground to know what's going on. But it's a lot of good stuff here. I've worked with a lot of people who, you know, who I consider to be, you know, great artists. I've been among some of the greatest here in Pittsburgh, and I'm proud to be among those other great artists. One of the biggest challenges that I've had as an artist is getting people to believe enough in my vision to be just as excited as I am about it, which I'm pretty sure most people have that problem. But when people see you work hard and grind, you know, they want to be a part of it. I'm the type of person that when somebody sits in my chair and, you know, pours out their heart and sets out a vision, the first thing I say is, you know, well, what can I do to help? Or if I know of somebody that could help, I try to, you know, throw that out there. So sometimes I can have that expectation of wanting people to do the same for me, but how I overcome that is just grinding and doing whatever it is that I have to do, and just trust that God will put things into place. You know, the word says that your gifts will make room for you, so I just trust and believe that it's going to happen the way it should happen. Just recently, maybe a year ago, I was doing this show, and I performed a song that I had performed on many occasions, but for whatever reason, that particular day, the lyrics kind of like sat with me. And it caused me to think about some things internally. And so once I got to the performance, I sang a bit, but then I stopped and I talked to the audience. And I shared some things personally. And I charged the audience to just speak positivity into the atmosphere. And it was just kind of like my sharing is what captivated, the audience. And it was, at that point, it was beyond a performance. I was actually bringing them into my world and inviting them into who I actually was, to the point where I actually got a little teary-eyed on stage, but it was personal. So that meant a lot to me as an artist. One of the biggest things that I won't say learned, but this is just something that just keeps reoccurring, is patience. I feel like I'm always tried in that area. And so, again, this was something that I had to grind on my own, and I had to depend on people, which is something else that I do not like to have to do. So it really tried me in that area. It also taught me perseverance. I've had other areas of my life where I've had to push, I've had to persevere, but when you master that in all areas of your life, you're like really doing something. I almost feel like, or I should say I felt like, I am who I am. I know who I am now. Still growing, but I feel in more control of that thing now. So this past July, I just released my EP. It's self-titled Devan Rue. It's just 7 songs, which is in a compilation of the different styles that I possess over my inspirational lyrics. You can find that on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play, or holla at your girl, and I got them in the trunk of my car.
Okay.
My advice to an aspiring artist would just be you. Art is objective, and everybody's not gonna like what you do. Maybe they like it a little bit, maybe they don't like it at all, but if it's something that you believe in, go for it. Stick with it, fine tune it, think of ways to be better, and do that. Yeah.
If you want to find out more about Devan and links to her album, check it out on our website at www.crew412.com. Check out this new segment, Teze's Take, with my man, Monteze Freeland.
Welcome to Teze's Take. I'm black by popular demand, and today we are talking about Black History Month 2016. Let's roll that opening number. We don't have it, guys? Okay, whatever. Let's go. So, lift every voice and sing. It's Black History Month 2016, and people are losing their damn minds. They're going crazy over Beyonce's Super Bowl concert, Cam Newton being unapologetically black. Barack Obama is apparently responsible for PTSD, and people keep asking Stacey Dash to talk. Look, let's have a moment of silence for Stacey Dash's blackness. Black folk are even talking about moving back to Africa if Donald Trump becomes president. I bet you Marcus Garvey is like, told y'all, but nobody wanted to listen to me though. Now, if you don't know who Marcus Garvey is, crack a book, because it's Black History Month. Now, I keep seeing people on Facebook talk about, is Black History Month necessary? Do we really need it in this climate? Yes, we do. Let me tell you why. A few weeks ago, I was talking to some people about how much I loved playing Frederick Douglass when I was a kid in our annual Black History Month assembly in school. And they got this blank stare over their face. And I realized they didn't know who Frederick Douglass was. And my friend's like, Teze, they're white. They don't need to know. And I'm like, it's Black history. Black history is American history. Say it with me. Black history is American history. Black history is American history. You got it. I hear you saying it. Come on. Black history is American history. And if we keep pretending that it's not, then we're going to have people letting us know that the Black Panthers are more deadly than the KKK. So let's take this month to educate people, to let people know that our history is important, our history is rich, our history is their history. So I'm going to start right now with a little nugget. Stop telling people
that you don't understand why February is Black History Month because you think it's the shortest month of the year and it's some conspiracy theory. It's not true. It started out as Negro History Week, which was done because of Frederick Douglass's birthday and Abraham Lincoln's birthday in the second week of February. It then grew into Black History Month. That's called progression. Let's be grateful for it. This is Teze's Take, and take some time to educate your friends and yourself.
I want to thank Monteze for his thoughts on Black History Month. Our last guest is a writer, a blogger, and a very smart brother, Damon Young.
My name is Damon Young. I'm a writer. I love pancakes, and this is my spotlight.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression.
My work right now, I guess the best way to describe it is anthropological satire, where I do a lot of, talk a lot about culture, pulp culture, race, even sex, dating, and relationships. I mean, the work I do pretty much runs the gamut of things that people talk about. And I like to infuse a bit of irreverence and a bit of wit and sometimes humor, sometimes absurd humor to the things that I create. Because let's say for instance, everyone's talking about a Beyonce video or a Beyonce song, something like that. Or even, I don't know, Bernie Sanders, something a little bit more serious. Now you'll have your takes that might end up on a more serious or a more traditional news outlet from a more traditional journalist or writer or whatever. And what I try to do is offer, I guess, a take that's unique, but also, I guess, provides the insight that the reader might not find in a more traditional news outlet. What I write about and what I concentrate on depends on the topic. Some topics need more levity, and I try to provide that, and some topics need more seriousness. Again, it depends on the topic, it depends on the angle. I try to be as versatile as I can so that I can write a serious piece, I can write a more satiric piece or a sillier piece. I try to work on my craft so that I can do both and have both be effective. Free's My Brother started in 2008. It's myself and my partner who goes by Panama Jackson, who lives in DC. And at the time we had a third partner. Her name was Liz, and she lived in either LA or New York. She used to shuttle between those two places. And we were all cool. We had met each other through blogs, personal blogs that we each had at the time. And we decided to come together and create a group blog where Panama and I would alternate weeks. I would write one week, Panama would write the next week, and we decided to call Very Smart Brother. And this was in 2008. Also, when we first launched, our focus was more of a witty and funny look at dating and relationships. And after a few months, and our audience started to grow, and the comments that we received on the piece started to grow as well, we expanded, started to infuse more pulp culture, more politics, more race.
Okay, we're gonna start. Here's the first question. Red is the official Kool-Aid flavor of the Black community. All right, can we all agree on that?
We can all agree on that.
You all agree on that?
Red, red flavor.
Red flavor is the official flavor the official Kool-Aid flavor of the Black community. But what is the other acceptable answer?
And now we are just basically a culture, I wouldn't even call it a blog, a culture magazine, where we have, we've had 50 different writers over the past year and a half. We have about 10 consistent writers right now, and yeah, that's pretty much it. What inspires me as a writer? I would say everything. I know that sounds like some type of new age cop-out cliche answer, but I really do get inspiration from conversations I have with people, from things I see on TV, from experiences I've had, from experiences I didn't have where I almost create these memories of things that didn't even actually happen, and I pull from them to create something that did happen. I know that's a kind of a awkward way of putting it, but because I'm always writing, I probably write maybe 5 to 10 different times a week, and also edit 5 to 10 different pieces a week. My mind just always has to be on, just trying to find inspiration and trying to find a muse to write about. I mean, I could, find something from this interview today. I might think about something that makes me think about something else that leads me to think of an angle for a topic I hadn't considered yet. You could find my work at verysmartbrothers.com. You could also find it at The Root. I write pretty frequently for The Root right now. I have a regular column in Ebony Magazine, and it's easy to find. It's usually between page 30 and 40, and it has my actual picture in it. It's not a very good picture, but it is me. And also there's a magazine, Pittsburgh-based digital magazine I helped launch last year called 1839, which is actually on hiatus now, but you could find a lot of my work there too. And also, if you're on Facebook, friend me. Everything I write, I end up sharing on my Facebook page and on my Twitter account. On Facebook, I'm just Damon Young. You can find me. And on Twitter, I usually tweet from the Very Smart Brothers account, which is Very Smart Bros. Is there a dream publication I'd like to write for? That's a good question. When I first started this, okay, there are destination publications for writers. GQ is one of them, Esquire. If you're a reporter or a journalist, maybe the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, the Guardian, even if you're in digital media, Grantland was that for a while. The Atlantic is also one. But I'm at a point now where I want to create the dream job, where BSB has grown to a point where it's conceivable for it to be a type of media entity that's looked at as aspirational for other writers. And so my goal right now isn't necessarily to write for, one of those publications. And I've written for some of them before, but my goal is to make BSB that publication. What other talents do I have? Let me think. I'm not a bad basketball player right now for my age. I think, I can still get past. I can still score on people and get past people. I just can't guard anybody. So if you play me one-on-one, whoever gets the ball first is probably gonna win. So there's that. I'm really good at drinking milkshakes. Like if there's a milkshake available at a certain restaurant, I will order it and then I will drink it and I will grade it just based on the other milkshakes I've had. What else am I good at? I'm good at reading. I guess I'm an expert reader. I'm good at breaking iPhones. That's something I do particularly well. I'm good at making people laugh. Except for my wife, who doesn't think I'm that funny, but everyone else thinks I'm funny, apparently, except for her. Advice for an aspiring writer is to write. That is the best advice I could give you, is to start writing, start reading. Don't wait to get attention or to get quote unquote put on before you start writing. You want to start writing when, the cliche dance like no one's watching you. You should dance like someone's watching you, because if you dance like no one's watching you, you're gonna look like an idiot. But write like no one is watching you. Write when, if you want to be this, popular writer or journalist or whatever, you can't be that overnight. It has to be a slow burn, a slow build, where you are able to work on your craft, where you're able to read other people's work and get ideas from them, or maybe see, okay, they had an angle that I never even thought about before. or they use, alliteration in a way that I never would think to use in a more traditional piece. So my advice, again, for any young writer is to write, and to also find a favorite author and read everything they do.
I want you to get up now.
Thank you for watching another episode of the 411. If you want to see extended footage, go to the website at www.crew412.com. You can also follow us on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember, Black history is American history, so learn it every day. It's your boy Mont Jones, and thank you for kicking it with the crew.